What up, y'all?
This is Brittany.
I'm Mandisa.
And I'm Jamal.
And we are your hosts of...
We're your hosts of...
And we're the host of...
Living Millennial.
Living Millennial.
Living Millennial.
A podcast where you'll be hearing three different perspectives and emerging stories from three different millennials on everyday life and trending topics.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Living Millennial. This is our first of a series of episodes called Someone You Should Know. Our very first guest is writer and film director Taeler Chanel. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Woo-hoo.
How are y'all?
We're good. Morning. So I'm sure y'all can hear the excitement in my voice right now. And I just have to tell y'all that the first time Taeler and I spoke on the phone, it was like friendship at first ring. Immediately I told her that we were friends, and that's because immediately I felt her energy, her vibe, everything just through the phone. And you'll soon understand why she's someone everybody should know. She's just a queen, y'all. So, Taeler, so let's start with where you're from.
Okay, I am from Houston, Texas.
And where do you reside now, and what brought you there?
I'm currently in Atlanta. I just made a year in October. I came here to actually pursue film and the TV industry a little bit more. It's not very active in Houston, and right now Atlanta is the place to be.
Ooh, that's very true. That's all I keep hearing about is Atlanta,
right?
And Black people in film in Atlanta. So,
it's like almost as soon as I came here, things started popping off. Like with me meeting people, like literally, I can meet someone at the grocery store and they're somehow like tied into the industry. I actually found my first employee on a flight to Houston, flying from Atlanta to Houston for the holidays. And she was sitting next to me and we were talking, and she was just saying she was in between jobs, and I was telling her everything that I was doing, and I just hired her on.
That's wild.
That's so dope.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That makes me think of, in our last episode, we were talking so much about connections and how even just the three of us met, Brittany, myself, and Jamal. And it's so crazy just how opening up and having a conversation with someone in a completely normal space, on an airplane, in a grocery store, in a parking lot, you can meet someone who can be your future employee, or someone who can just open up doors for you, or you can open up a door for them simply by just like opening your mouth and being like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Right. Exactly. And I have one of those like friendly, open personalities. We just started talking it up a storm immediately.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So let me ask you this, and I'm mostly asking because I know me and I wasn't always like that. But so has that always been your personality? Like you're always just open to talking to folks, or is that something that you had to come into doing?
No, I've definitely always been a stranger lover. Like I will go up to anybody and spark a conversation, just exactly how me and you got on that phone that first time, and we talked for like over an hour. I can like do that with anyone.
Yeah, we were on the phone for a bit too.
Yeah.
I was
it got personal and out of business real fast.
Oh, you know what? It did. But another reason why I'm like, let's get this part out the way, because I know me. So that's awesome, because that's a learned behavior. That was a learned behavior for me, especially coming from Chicago, coming into San Diego as a transplant. I'm like, if somebody's just randomly saying hi to me, like, I'm like, what you want?
You're like, what?
Yeah. How can I help you? What do you want? I ain't got nothing for you, you know? So, but that's super dope. So tell us a little bit about some of your business ventures coming from Houston to Atlanta.
Okay. So right now I'm currently working with my production company. It's called Creative Collective, shorten it to CAC Studios, just so it can roll off the tongue a little better. We just finished shooting our first original film, and it will be screening soon in Atlanta. I'm hoping for the end of February, but it may be about an early March date. Right now, we're still in post-production, so we're waiting on the premiere date still. But we're excited about it. As far as my members go, you can join up to be a member of the company. And if you are a content creator yourself, you can reach out to the team and submit any like scripts or concepts that you have, and we evaluate them. And if we decide it's something that we want to take on, we'll actually take production on for you or for our members. So anything from finding the locations that they'll need for their concepts, any props, any characters, we help out with all of that and actually shoot, record, edit, everything for them. And also another incentive we have to join up as a member is if you are a content creator and you already have content that you have created, you can upload them on our Amazon Prime Video platform, and we will pay you for every view that you get.
That's amazing.
Damn.
I was so happy securing that deal because I see, I have a lot of just personal friends who, post on their YouTube channels and post on like different platforms, Vimeo and things like that, and they're not getting paid. People are, viewing them. Like I have a friend who has over 15,000 views on his YouTube channel, but he's not getting paid for it. YouTube, you have to reach a certain threshold. I believe, I don't know the number for sure, but I want to say it's like something outrageous, like 50,000 hits or something like that before you start getting like advertisements and things like that. So with my streaming deal, you get paid per view, and that's like, okay, and you can still post across multiple platforms. Like you can still, if you have subscribers on your YouTube, you can still post on YouTube. There's no exclusivity clause. You can I just always suggest, just promote your Amazon Prime channel because that's the one that's paying you.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't have anything published on the landing page just yet, but I have members who have submitted their content that they want me to publish. So within the next 2 weeks, I'll have the landing page active for just potential people who are interested to just browse through and see what type of content we have. So you can upload episodes, you can do seasons, you can do standalone videos, music videos, all kind of things. So it'll be what my vision for it, hopefully, is like a sort of Netflix marketplace for original content creators.
Ooh.
That's dope. Yo, congratulations on securing that.
Thank you.
and adding
I told y'all I'll be working every day. I'm literally focused on Creative Collective.
That's awesome. So what actually inspired Creative Collective CHC?
So this is where I guess it would be my like sob story. We all got one. I used to be a flight attendant, and when I was a flight attendant, it's a very like lonely job. So whenever I was like in the midst of traveling, you can be gone for like 6 days at a time, and you're just living in and out of your plane in your hotel room. So it was really lonely for me. So I was like, well, what can I do to like make the most of this? Because this is an awesome job, but I'm over here miserable. So I've always been an avid reader, always been a bookworm. You can catch me reading, like at 2 years old, I was reading like 5 books a week. At 2. It's a little dramatic, but I've always been a bookworm. So I was like, well, you know what? Maybe I can start doing like book reviews, but video blogs. So make it interesting, use my free traveling benefits and do like on location films. So for example, I was reading a book about a pilot who crashes off the coast of, I want to say it was England. So I was like, oh, you know what? I can fly to England, do a video vlog, reviewing the book, and maybe showing some places that are mentioned in the book, and things like that. So I started getting that in the works. But then my mom got sick, and she needed a caretaker for 2 months, and the airline wasn't willing to accommodate me. So I was like, well, I'm choosing my mom over being a flight attendant. I'm already halfway miserable doing it anyway. So I had to voluntarily terminate my employment to go take care of my mom. So like in that time span of, being at home, not working, I was just miserable because I am like on the go all the time, and to just be being stagnant for those months, I was like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, what can I do? What can I do? And I had a conversation with my best friend and her mom. She's like a spiritual advisor, and she actually told me that I should get into writing. She was like, something tells me that you could be an amazing writer. She was like, try that and see where that takes you. So I was like, sure, why not? So I started writing this like short draft of my life and like certain experiences that I've had, and I actually started looking for like writing workshops and things to go to just get my feet wet and meet people, get tips and things like that. And one of the workshops I went to, the speaker, she's a known author, Joy Pendergrass. She actually challenged us to come up with some type of idea to stay connected in the arts. And so she gave us 30 minutes to write down some concepts, and like literally right then is when I started coming up with that. And that's just encompassing all art, so from writing to music to, well, that's how I took it. So when she said that, I was like, well, because the writing community really, it's not super big. A lot of people don't read, which is crazy because reading amazing.
Right. Reading is fundamental.
So it's like we have a specific niche, you know, we stick together and that's pretty much it. If you're not in that community, you're not like really ever going to be. So I was trying to think like, you know, if you don't read, you're not going to randomly just turn into a bookworm. You know, a lot of people don't like to read, which I don't get, because for me, I guess because I am a creator, when I read, I literally put myself in the pages of the book. Like, I'm putting myself in that room, in that, in that situation. I'm feeling those emotions. Like, I'm laughing at a funny part, I'm crying at a sad part. Like, I'm watching a movie.
Right.
That's how I feel when I read. So, a lot of people rather just connect to the visual aspect of it, but
right.
Everything comes from words. But yeah, so I just started thinking about ways that I could make what I was trying to do, which was what I was originally writing a book, trying to get people excited about it, because I'm like, who's gonna buy this? So nobody really reads anymore. So I started thinking of, well, maybe I could come up with meetings and like do like weekly meetings per industry, so a group of like-minded people can get together and either create together or work on whatever like separate projects they're currently working on, just be an environment to work on that project amongst other people working on similar things, just like a motivation circle type thing. So I started planning that out, and initially I was just hosting those events in Houston. I had a launch for Creative Collective in Houston. And things were going really well. I had an amazing turnout at the launch. I got really excited about the future and things like that. Then I started speaking to Brittany. You already know this part. I'm not going to shed too much light on that aspect of the story, but I did get involved with someone who was basically trying to convince me to move to Atlanta because the market was so much more active for creatives in general.
Right.
And, just like on a whim, because I am a freaking drama, just spur of the moment type of girl. I love adventure. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna move to Atlanta, and I'm gonna start my business in Atlanta.
Okay.
For viewers listening, very stupid. Don't do that. If you are going to establish a business, at least stay in that location for a year or two, to just get, just to gain more reach, more exposure.
Right.
I tried to do what I was doing in Houston and Atlanta, and it was a flop. Like, I had maybe 5 people come to my launch in Atlanta.
Wow.
And I wasn't devastated because I didn't know anyone in Atlanta.
Right.
So the 5 that came, I'm grateful. But I was like, okay, this is it. Obviously this isn't going to work. Nobody knows that I'm saying, hey, meet such and such, like, they're like, who are you?
Right.
And why would I spend $10 to come to this event? Like, is there a celebrity there? Is there,
What's in it for me? Yeah.
Exactly. So I started trying to have to, like, hone in on what exactly the market in Atlanta is. And film and TV was the biggest thing. Like, it is so active out here, active, that I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to, just to put Creative Collective on the map, what I'm going to go ahead and do is just primarily focus on writing and meeting people in, like, screenwriting, screenplays, getting into that industry and producing that through Creative Collective, so we have a name out here. Then once we're established, I can start doing the events for the other industries, like dancers and musicians and everything that I had originally started out to do.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at. We're in the process now of, like, film production and everything is what our primary focus on. But this is probably a little too early, but I'm excited about it. I did secure a building in Houston. Well, I'm still working out the kinks with the city, but I should be getting a building where I can have, like, a corporate headquarters where I can have, like, separate rooms for every industry and then have that green room for our productions for music videos and movies and things. It's over 10,000 square feet. And it's in a small area. Baytown, if you're not familiar with Texas, it's a small city, maybe about an hour or so from Houston. But I'd love a challenge. I'll put Baytown on the map. So I'll be hosting events and things like that. That's a 5-year plan, though, because obviously renovations and still have to go through permit and licenses, licensing and everything like that. But there's big things in the works, and it all started just from me quitting a job and asking myself, like, what the hell are you going to do with your life now? Like, you just gave up an awesome gig as a flight attendant, traveling free. Like, what are you going to do to make up for that?
Yeah. Gonna open up some other doors. Boom. That's what you're gonna do.
Yeah, I created a whole new avenue. Like, we're not staying stagnant around here.
I know that's right. Okay, so you talked about being a writer originally and writing your book, or being in the process of writing your book. So what does your writing process look like? I know for some people, it can start with vulnerability. It can start with being offended. It can start from, like, a dream. It literally can start from anything, right? So, again, what does your writing process look like?
Honestly, I pull from real life situations a lot of the times. Sometimes I'll see something, like, driving, maybe like a billboard or something. Like, honestly, yesterday, y'all are gonna laugh again, but yesterday I was playing on Snapchat. It's something as small as Snapchat. I was playing on Snapchat. They have this new filter that makes you it distorts your face, but it makes you look like, to me, it looked like some type of, like, cartoon character. So with my face, I felt like the girl was, like, evil. Like, maybe she's very, like, calculated. She's maybe conniving. I started thinking of a character, like, right then when I saw my face on the screen. And I have a friend who's into animation, and I hit her up and I was like, how would you feel about making a cartoon? And she was like, really? And I was like, yeah, I, like, literally just came up with an idea just now. And so that was literally just last night, so who knows if we'll actually make it a thing. But like, it's that easy for me. Like, I'll just have an idea, and then the thoughts just start rolling in. I'm like, oh, well, this could happen, and then this could be the location, and then just like like that. And I really just pull from what's either happening to me or what I'm seeing. Yeah. And I just go from there. I'll just build it out from there.
Which is so dope also to be a creative and then have other creatives nearby in so many different avenues, like an animator. And I mean, who knows how many other people that you are in contact with because of this new open door, this new kind of chosen career. What
Definitely.
is...
I mean, I am huge major in collaboration. Like, I'm not one of those people who are like, oh, I have to have control of this. This is not, like, no. Like, I want anyone who has some type of talent or skill set that could make it great. I want you. And I'm going to give you your credit. You're going to see your name plastered everywhere, your face plastered everywhere, because you put in that time and effort. And we're creatives, and we want to be recognized for what we create. So I'm not one of those, bigoted people who have to have control over everything and don't let people, have a suggestion or a tip. Like, totally into collaboration, totally into working on, someone comes with me with an idea, like, and I love it, I'm going to try to do my best to do whatever I can to make it real. Like, my sister came to me with a movie idea, and so I wrote, like, an outline for a script for her, and I think I may shoot it after my next film that I'll be shooting for in May. Like, I want to have content lined up, like, so that's why I'm big on collaboration. I'll work with anyone. Hopefully, like, you guys, if y'all hear me talking and want to connect and have some ideas, hit me up. On all social media networks. I'd love to talk.
Clearly, you have now officially proven why you are someone we. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First, it's free. Next, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and many more. You can also make money from your podcast, y'all, with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast, all in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's Anchor, ANCHOR.FM, and get started. We all need to know.
Yes.
Because you are nothing. Yeah, girl, you are nothing to play with. And I love that because, so here's the thing, and this is why I think I admire you so much, because we all have ideas, right? But it's all about executing them. It's all about actually getting it done, like writing it down, getting it done, writing your goals down, assessing them, going back. It's a number of things. And yes, it is a process, but it's at the end of the day, it's all about getting it done. And I love that. You're not letting anything get in your way. You come up with something, you're rolling with it, you're going to find any way possible to make it work. And I think that's a quality that not everybody has. And again, it's definitely admirable for sure. Let's talk about, Black women in the writing industry and Black women in the film industry, especially. How has your experience been as a Black woman in the film industry so far?
So specifically, just being Black, I would say it's just more. I haven't really had any negative experiences just yet. But I honestly, being here in Atlanta, I feel like I've gotten more like support because there's so many groups for specifically Black women, Black people in film and TV out here. It seems like Georgia actually has some type of tax incentives for African American entrepreneurs. That's why you hear and know about a lot of Black business owners out here, because the city actually gives tax incentives for us. Which is great.
Let me pack my bags.
I tell my friends who create all the time, come to Atlanta. It's the place to be to start anyway.
That's awesome.
It's amazing, and there's so many opportunities. There's so many meetings and networking events, and it's just so much going on out here. I love it. It's literally growing into the new Hollywood. More people are actually coming from Los Angeles, where that's where, film and TV is huge. That's where everyone, I'm moving to LA. I'm doing this. Now there are people moving from Los Angeles to now pursue the industry here in Atlanta because of how big we're growing and all the tax incentives and everything that the state offers. Me personally, I was a little worried with the election that just passed, because I wanted Kemp to not win. Like, I was like, no, he needs, because he wanted to take away the tax credit incentives for the film industry,
which is what the downfall in Louisiana and New Orleans was. When I was there, and they took that off with the tax incentives, and then actually a lot of the film business that was happening in New Orleans in Louisiana shifted to Atlanta, which just grew that even further.
Yeah, and that sucks because things were going, being so active here to have that fear that he would like actually take away something like that that's so important and lucrative to us out here. Now I'm hearing talks that he has recanted that statement, and he won, unfortunately. So we will see. I actually have a conference set up with a film industry accountant to actually talk about that, because if it is taken away, obviously I will have to figure out a way to offset that loss somehow.
Right.
Yeah.
So, when one door closes, another one always opens. That's always my motto.
Exactly.
So I'm just waiting on that, and we'll see what comes from that talk. But for right now, Georgia is the place to be. I'm loving it. I see nothing but growth and opportunity here.
Yeah.
And do you get a chance to go outside of Atlanta into other parts of Georgia, and how different is that, and do you do any workout in parts of Georgia outside of Atlanta?
Oh yeah, definitely. I live actually in Duluth. We actually shot Hollywood primarily in Duluth.
A word.
We only had one scene in the Atlanta outskirts, and that was just for like a fancy restaurant scene. But I've been everywhere. I when I first moved out here, I actually lived in Decatur. It was a little scary for me, gunshots and whatnot. So I had to move around after a while. But I've visited quite a few places. My editor is in Smyrna. That honestly, every person that I meet out here, they came out here to be in film and TV. Like, no one that I've met is literally from Georgia. So everybody's spread out. So it's given me a lot of leeway to explore and find out different parts of the state for sure.
That's awesome. That's kind of how it is in San Diego. Like, a lot of us are transplants. Like, I'm from Chicago. Disa is from New Orleans.
By way of Vegas, by way of Michigan.
Right, true, right. Like my roommates were not from San Diego at all. So, and most of my friends.
How long have you guys been in San Diego?
Ooh, I've been here for, it'll be actually like 5.5 years. I've been on the West Coast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've been here for just over 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are both considering San Diego home at this point.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Not for life.
Right.
But
at least for like 3 to 5 years.
Don't look at me. We gotta go into the She's looking at me like like we in this together. No, girl, I'm out of here. I'm going to Atlanta with Taeler. What you mean?
Yeah, come on. Well, you know what? I'll probably be moving. I really, really want to try out the indie scene in New York. I'm going to give myself about 3 more years.
Wait. This is crazy.
That's crazy.
Every time Brittany talks about you and just speaks on your dopeness, I always, for a minute I was like, am I projecting something? I was like, I kept placing you in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
New York has been popping up on my radar so much. I've been looking at the universe like, what are you telling me?
Like, yeah, because when you were when we were trying to, figure out timing and whatnot, and I was like, oh, she might be in the subway on her way to work. And Brittany looked at me like,
I was like, girl, I'm like, whenever I see her on the gram, she in her car, so.
That's crazy.
I don't know.
No, it's been on my radar. It definitely has. I honestly almost moved a few months ago with a friend who moved from Georgia to New York. She really wanted me to go with her, and I really thought about it because I started adding like different Facebook groups for the film industry out there, and like talking to different people out there. And the industry seems to be very active, but I was like, no, you did from Houston to Atlanta randomly, and learn your lesson and settle for a little bit. Then
slow down, shawty. I feel you. So I'm excited personally. I've seen some of your like behind the scene features on the gram. I'm honestly super excited. So let's let our listeners hear a little bit about Hollywood, what they can expect. Yeah, let's get them excited.
Okay, so the LGBT community should love Hollywood. It showcases a feminine lesbian couple who they're both in the industry, the entertainment industry. One, Anita Kingwood, is an actress. The other, Tina Rossi, is a writer. And they decide to move. I have them based in Houston, of course. Got to give pilgrimage to the home base, but they are moving from Houston to Los Angeles to pursue their career goals. And once they get there, they, experience some trials and tribulations that test the strength of their relationship. I'm not going to tell you what happens. You guys will have to watch it. Tune in. But yeah, they go through some scandal. There's some scandal in there, some heartbreaking in there, some tears. It's a lot. And then I'm developing a TV series for it now, actually. I have a group of writers who are helping me come together with the script to pitch for distribution. But there'll be a lot more in store past what you guys will see in the film. So hopefully viewers will love it and get, so attached to it after watching it that they'll stay tuned to watch it as a series.
Dope. We will, for sure.
I know. I'm honestly really excited because one thing that I pulled from our conversation before is just like, this is a film that everybody needs to watch, just like what you said. And something that it sounds like a lot of people are going to be able to relate to. And that's always important, is like to see something that's actually relatable.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm excited. When everything comes out, I'm excited to see the final project.
Yes, I'm so excited. I am at this point. We've been in post, for a while now, about 2 months, and that's not honestly long, but I'm so like results based and so like ready. Like, I'm like, this is taking too long. I'm sick of this. I want it to be done and finished and out for everybody to see. But everything great takes time.
Right.
So I'm telling myself, like, patience, pace it out, because I honestly don't want to rush it, being anxious, and then it comes out and it looks like crap.
Yeah, so, I feel you. Yeah,
I'm waiting on it, but I'm just as excited. I've been behind the scenes the whole time, but I'm still like, I can't wait to see it. It's just something about your baby finally coming out, and just being able to sit back and just be like, I really did that.
Yeah.
I really did that.
That's super exciting. Let me ask you about, any prominent figures in your life or that you see in film right now that, really encourage you and inspire you at this point?
Let's see. Well, definitely Issa Rae will have to be the number one inspiration right now, just because her story is very similar. She had her own series, Awkward Black Girl, that she started first and got it picked up and turned into Insecure on HBO. Right. So it's obviously every creator's dream, film creator's dream, is to be picked up for distribution. So that would be amazing. I would love the TV series for Hollywood to be picked up for distribution. Another inspiration of mine is Ava DuVernay. Love her. Any Black women in film in general are going to be a huge motivation, inspiration point for me.
Yeah.
Just because that's where I want to be. That's where I see myself as well. So,
right.
I love to look after Ava and keep up with her and what she's doing. Oprah is another huge person, of course.
Oprah. Yes.
I love Oprah. Yeah, the Oprah Network is a goal of mine to have as well. I'd love to have a TV channel. I don't know what the network name could be, but
right. That's when you know.
As long as it's mine, it's fine.
Right.
Right.
I know that's right.
That's when you know that you have made it and you have accomplished all the things. When not only do you have shows and magazines, but you have your own channel where you are creating content for all 24-hour time slots of the day.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you decide what goes on it. It's not the head of HBO where you have to run it past him.
Right.
No, I want this on my network. It's going on my network.
Boom.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
Speaking of Oprah,
right.
can we talk a little tea at the moment though for a quick second?
Yeah, let's talk some tea.
So, did anybody see that Love Is was canceled?
What?
So Love Is was canceled due to some domestic violence allegations or something. Yeah.
The main character?
No, it was the writers, the couples, Mara and I forget what her husband's name is. I'm not the best at giving tea because it ain't my life, but I ain't worried about it. But it's the couple who created Love Is, and it's the couple who it's based off of.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. So Mara, because she was the creator of Girlfriends and some number of amazing Black shows. Damn. And then they created Love Is after one season. Yeah, and they canceled it, and it was going on. Wow. Yeah, and I just saw that the other day. Here's my thing. Let me just say this really quickly, okay? Here's what I think. At least on my end, I never know about any of these allegations until it blows up in the media, until somebody makes an announcement and says, this show was canceled because of these allegations. Does that make sense?
It does.
Right.
So you're basically adding fuel to the fire, and you're letting more people know about these celebrities' private life.
Right.
I wouldn't have known anything until I read about it.
Right.
So the show could have went on, because think about the number of people who are in the same boat as me
and wouldn't have known.
It could very well be the circumstance, though, because maybe they could no longer work together because of the domestic violence that was going on. They're the creators of the shows, and they have, some violence going on between them two. They're probably not in the place to create and write together anymore.
I could see that. Tay, you got all the answers, girl. I could see that.
Well, no, I'm just thinking just in terms of if it was to happen to me.
Yeah.
Because, I have a group of writers who I'm developing a TV series script with, and if one of us started to fight or whatever, and we had already started producing and having things underway, I would have had to shut it down because we going head to head.
Yeah.
There's no way we can collaborate at this point.
Yeah. You would shut the whole show down? Or you would replace them like they did Roseanne?
I would honestly, me personally, I would want to replace them.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to shut. Everybody loves Love Is. Love Is was very popular. I never watched an episode myself, but I got a lot of people recommended me to watch it because they saw what I was doing and everything.
Yeah.
And I don't, and that's not even a dig or shade or nothing. I really don't watch TV. Ironically enough, I am a creator and I don't watch TV.
That's so funny. Well, that's because there's nothing that you need to watch. Yeah.
So that sucks.
Yeah.
That really sucks.
I know.
Right. And that just shuts down, just like you were saying, you'd replace the people. That shuts down jobs for everybody else involved.
Yeah.
The cast,
right.
the crew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's normally what people like when you see those things, especially on social media, and you see the comments or whatever. That's normally what people say. It's like, dang, like you are really messing up other people's employment,
right?
Because of whatever decision. That's why I brought up Roseanne, because that's exactly what happened. She got fired basically, and they shut the show down because of her tweets on her private account. And then they came back and everybody was employed because I guess the audience was fired up enough and made enough noise and was like, no, like, don't mess it up. It's actually an enjoyable show. Like, don't mess it up for whatever reason. And they brought the show back. They killed Roseanne off of, she had an opioid overdose.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good. I mean, I don't know anybody who actually watches Roseanne.
Yeah, it's not real life. It's not real life. I love Roseanne. I used to love
that's
Roseanne.
so funny.
But yeah, so I thought that was a pretty interesting decision that they made that. But yeah, but like basically I'm saying this to say you make it work. Whatever works for you, whatever allows your creative outlet to thrive, you know, whether it's shut everything down and start over, replace somebody, whatever, like it is what it is. But yeah,
the show must go on.
And exactly, the show must go on. People still need to create and make things happen. I feel some type of way about gossip blogs and all that stuff anyway, even though I be on the Shade Room. But
right, we gotta get the Daily Shade Room tea. I mean, it's a guilty pleasure.
To be honest, a lot of that stuff is funny. Most of it I'll scroll right through because it's just unnecessary to know. Yeah. But some of the stuff that they repost actually is really, really funny. Oh, but
we get sidetracked.
Yeah, we get a little sad tea over there, but that's okay. I brought that up for a reason. All right. So overall, Tay, like I think I've said this before, and I definitely was telling Mandisa this for a while, even Jamal too. Like, you know, you definitely are living in your purpose. And I think you definitely made that clear to me. You know, you're not letting anything stop you. You rolling with the punches. You know, and the moment you come up with something, it sounds like you're in the habit to really just get it done. Right.
Yep.
And like I said, like you really don't get that or hear that from a lot of people. Especially Taylor, can you tell our listeners how old you are? Let's talk about that.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I just made 26. I know that's supposed to be taboo, but I honestly don't care to tell my age because I look 12. So
Black don't crack.
Black does not crack. So
Black don't crack.
It does not. So I said all that to say, you know, especially as Black millennials, we tend to look at our age in our young age, or other people tend to look at our young age and discriminate against us. And you're blowing right past that, right? You're not allowing any of that to get in the way.
I have two more things. Actually, I have three. I lied. I have three things. I want to circle back because I think it's important for people to read, and especially for fellow millennials to share what they're reading, because sometimes I go to the library and I'm like, I don't know what to pick up. So can you share a title or two of something that you've read recently that you really love and think other people should read?
Yes. Let me think. So I love Women Who Runs with Wolves. That's a really, really good book.
Mm-hmm.
I just listened to, I don't know if audiobooks count.
Yes.
But I like to do like the self-help, self-motivation type book as audiobooks, so I can kind of have them playing while I'm sleeping, because I feel like it's seeping through my subconscious if I do that. So self-mastery, or what is it? Actually, let me get you the full name and not butcher it. In case he's hearing, in case you're listening, author, I want to give you your correct credit.
And while you look that up, I want to, since you mentioned self-help, I came upon this book from grad school. If you haven't read Daring Greatly by Brené Brown, check that out. I could mail you a copy. Like,
oh yeah, definitely. I would definitely love that. Love to read that.
Somebody was showing me about that.
It's actually called How to Change the Way You Think, Your Journey to Finding Happiness by Amy Sharp.
Love it. Okay.
It's a good self-help book. And I just, like I said, I literally will just put those type of books on repeat while I'm sleeping, and just have them like playing under my pillow, and wake up and then do my little 10-minute stretch in the morning, and I'm good to go for the day.
Dope.
I love that. I do want you to give some words to other Black millennials who may be pondering on an idea or even starting a new venture in business or creative outlet. Just throw some positive words. Give us some knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Creatives out there, if you are wanting to branch out and start something new, the one thing that I had to learn is just having ideas is one thing, but actually going out and finding the right people to connect with, looking online and researching the right materials on how to begin, what you would need. That's literally what I did. Google was my best friend when I started out. Like, Google will tell you any and everything you want to know if you want to start something. Don't be scared. Don't listen to advice from anyone who hasn't done anything, because they'll really discourage you. They'll tell you, oh no, or something like that, and then have you second guessing your thought. No, you had that thought for a reason. Turn it into action and make it a reality.
Love it.
Yeah.
I gotta go back to one thing, because you said you made 26, which is something I've only heard people in New Orleans say. So that just made my heart jump right quick. I was like, ooh.
Oh, yay.
She brought me back for a second. I commend you on your dopeness and your entrepreneurship and your fire, really, to just go out and do what you're doing, and keep opening doors for others, and pushing boundaries, and constantly challenging yourself, and rising up to the occasion, all the occasions. I'm actually gonna wrap my second and third points into one last question. Where can our listeners find you on social media, or follow you, or keep up with the film, and check out when it's going to debut?
So you guys can stay tuned with all things Creative Collective, all things Hollywood, on Facebook at Creative Collective, CHC Studio. If you just type that in the search bar, we'll come up. On Facebook, Twitter as well, CHC Studio, and Instagram, CHC Studio. So all three platforms are on there. I also have a meetup page that I keep updated with when we have like castings, or when I was looking for my writers, I posted on Meetup. And I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with Meetup, but it's a great resource to find people in like the industries that you're involved in. And we're also there under Creative Collective.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And you can find me,
Taeler Chanel, Twitter and Instagram. Facebook, I don't really let too many people in on the Facebook.
Right. I know that's
but
right.
I can be found on Instagram and Twitter at Taeler Chanel.
At Taeler Chanel. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, you guys. So you officially, you heard from Taeler, and you know exactly why she is someone that you need to know, someone you need to keep up with. We have her handles now, so be sure to go follow. Be ready for Hollywood for sure. Woo! Taeler, thank you so much for, again, spreading your words, your energy, your vibes, all of the above.
Thank you guys for having me.
No problem.
Anytime. I'll love to come back.
We'd love to have you back.
We need you back, girl. We definitely will have you back for sure. We definitely want to continue to give you a place to promote and share. We need your energy. We want to keep this going.
Thank you, guys. I need y'all. Y'all have great energy as well. You know, to have a great exchange, it has to be, great on both ends. So y'all's energy was reciprocative of mine, and like I said, I'd love to talk with y'all again anytime.
Yes, and the next time we'll have Jamal.
Yes,
that's awesome. You told me a little about him. So hey, Jamal, I love to chat with him too.
And we know how you operate, girl. So if you say it, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. Yes. Exactly.
Manifestation.
Speak it into existence. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
Yes.
No problem. Thank you guys.
Yeah, and thank you, listeners, for being here. This is Brittany.
This is Mandisa.
And thank you for listening to Living Millennial. Yeah.
We are living millennial. Oh, ba 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 ba.
Be sure to subscribe to our show, follow us on IG, and tell us what you think.